Hello everyone. I don't normally make videos like this, but I wanted to, since I have at least a small platform in this AI world, I want to make sure I give voice to something that is very concerning to me as a creator and someone who uses these AI tools every day, coming from what is unfortunately Perplexity. Now, if you've followed this channel for a long time, you'll notice that I love Perplexity. It has been my go-to tool for all of my non-writing tasks. I use it in place of Google search. I use it for just random stuff. I use it for troubleshooting stuff. But recently they've made some changes to their terms of services that almost went under the radar because they didn't announce it to people. That's the first red flag right there, is that they didn't announce it. At least from what I'm told, they didn't announce it. And there are a number of very concerning things in those terms of services that make it basically unusable for me if they don't change it. So I'm making this video as a way to call attention to these changes and hopefully to inspire more people to contact Perplexity and let them know that you don't like these things, because I would be really ashamed for any of these things to continue in Perplexity. They would cause me to switch to a different provider. I don't want that to happen because I love Perplexity. It has been up to this point my favorite chatbot overall compared to the chatbots of ChatGPT or Claude. It has things like being able to use multiple models within the same chatbot, which you can't do with any of the other major ones. So let's actually dive in and see what these new terms of services are. First of all, you can access them directly from Perplexity's Legal Hub. I'll make sure to leave a link to this in the description of this video. These were last updated on January 23rd, and unfortunately it's taken this long to figure out what happened. You know, I am not a lawyer. Let's just put that caveat out there right now. Consult a lawyer if you want anything certain on any of these topics. But I would also like to thank this person called OKSmell453 on Reddit, who went through and basically summarized all of the major changes from this January 23rd, 2026 update. And there are a number of things in here. I just want to thank this person because he already did a lot of the hard work of actually extracting all of the main red flags. I did do enough research to make sure that the biggest of the red flags that I saw, I went and confirmed for myself that they are indeed in the terms of services. So let's look at what some of these say. For instance, first of all, this is personal, non-commercial use only. Despite pro branding suggesting professional and business capabilities, the terms explicitly restrict use to personal and non-commercial purposes, which means they can't exploit the service for any commercial purpose, including facilitating advertisements or solicitations, which is a little bit insane to me because I feel like there's absolutely no harm in just brainstorming ad headlines, for instance. If I'm going through and I say, hey, I have this product, can you help me create some ad headlines for it? According to their terms of services, you can't then use those ad headlines on Facebook or something like that to help you sell your product. Like, that is insane to me. Not to mention the fact that any content that you create with the intention of selling it or using it in a commercial manner, like say I wanted to create a YouTube script that I would then use on this platform, I couldn't do that. And of course, if you're using it to generate prose, you can't do that either. Quick pause. If you're an author who wants to start writing more books, I put together my complete AI prompt pack that helped me and many others in my community write a book in a month. It's completely free. Hit the link in the description. Join the free waitlist for Story Hacker Gold. Then you just answer a couple quick questions and I'll send you the full prompt list plus a few extra free goodies. I'll also email you when I open the paid Story Hacker Gold group so you can join if it feels right. There's no commitment to join though, and you'll still be able to get all of the freebies you signed up for either way. All right, back to the video. So that was like a huge one for me. And I can't believe that the pro version, what you're paying $20 a month for, is restricted to just like personal hobbyist type info, right? No, like if you're a business, you're going to be using this as a productivity tool in your business. And it doesn't sound like any usage of that nature would be in line with their terms of services. Okay, they also restrict bots or scrapers. This one doesn't really apply to most of us, but it doesn't really want any kind of automation software to access or modify the service itself. Not a huge deal breaker, but something to be aware of for certain types of businesses. All right, here's the next big one. Mandatory attribution. All published output must clearly cite that it comes from Perplexity's AI services. No misrepresentation. Users cannot represent AI-generated content as human-created. That one's fine in most cases, especially when the AI-generated content was created with the intent of sounding real, like, for instance, with political parties and stuff like that. Anything political, or talking about, like, someone said this when, in fact, they didn't actually say that. I understand it for that use. When you're using it as a creative partner, however, we're creating what is already clearly fictional content. That, to me, I don't know. Like, is it really AI generated content when it is a human AI collaboration? I mean, yes, AI certainly participated in that whole process, but it also wouldn't have existed without the human guidance. So what's the difference between that and a human using any other tool to create something? The tool doesn't create it. The human does with the assistance of the tool. And I don't know, that gets into the whole ethics of the entire debate on whether AI generated content should be human attributed or not. So I won't get into the details of that. But anyway, citation required for public use. Any public facing or business facing content using output needs explicit AI attribution. I find it interesting that even if, we already established that you can't use this for commercial purposes, really only for personal purposes. So even for personal purposes, anything that you put out public facing needs to be attributed to Perplexity. I don't know if this is just them trying to, hedge their bets against any potential liability claims or lawsuits that could come their way, or if it's a marketing ploy, like they just want more people to talk about them using Perplexity. I don't know. Either way, it's a little annoying. All right. Then we have professional advice limitations. So not for professional decisions. Output explicitly cannot replace medical, legal, financial, or investment advice. That makes sense. No reliable guarantee. Content is acknowledged as potentially incorrect, biased, or incomplete. Users assume all risk. Strong liability limitations push risk onto the users for decisions based on output. And maximum liability capped. Perplexity's liability limited to greater of 100 or 6 months of payments. So basically, most of this I'm okay with, because we should understand that AI can make mistakes, and we should double check anything it tells us and not take it as, like it says, medical, legal, financial, or investment advice, because, or at least not take it at its worst. You can use it for that advice, but always double check everything, just as you should if you're Googling it, getting advice from anywhere on the internet. You should do the same thing. And acknowledging that it's potentially incorrect, biased, or incomplete. We know that AI hallucinates, even though it's not nearly as big of a problem as it used to be. It still does happen. And so, of course, we should be okay with that. Here's another big one to keep an eye on, where it says for content licensing, user content license, including inputs, is now explicitly broad, royalty-free, transferable, sub-licensable, worldwide, and irrevocable while stored. This is one that I could potentially see becoming a source of lawsuits for Perplexity if they intend to enforce this, because it means that anything you put into Perplexity could be considered, basically they have the rights to use it however they want, including transferring it to other people. So while I don't normally have any sort of fears about putting my intellectual property into an AI model, because I know that the likelihood of anybody being able to use that, if it's used as training data, likelihood of anybody getting to get ideas from it or recreate it in some way is next to zero. But here it's saying if it's in their system, they can use it however they want. So with that said, I would strongly advise you to not put any of your copyrightable data, any of your creative writing or anything into Perplexity, because as long as it's stored there, they can do whatever they want with it, according to my interpretation of this. This Reddit user also documented a number of instances of Perplexity banning people from their Discord or from their Reddit just because of negative comments that were said. And, while I can only trust that this Redditor is being honest about this or has their facts straight, that does, I think, raise a couple of questions and a couple of eyebrows in that case. But those are the general red flags that I really wanted to draw your attention to. Again, I will put their terms of services and a link to this Reddit post in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. But unless Perplexity changes some of these things, I am going to recommend you move to a different chatbot to do all of your work, especially any content related tasks. The two that come to mind that would probably be the best are Gemini and Claude. Claude does tend to throttle things a lot, and so I tend not to use that one in particular. I do really like Gemini these days, and just the whole Google ecosystem makes it one of the more friendly chatbots, I think, especially if you are in the Google ecosystem at all. If you have Gmail, if you use Google Maps a lot, or Google Docs in any way, that one might be the one that I go to for now, because Perplexity is doing all of this stuff. I would prefer to go to Gemini. I'm still really bummed out because I would prefer to have Perplexity's search capabilities, which I think are some of the best. Gemini has search capabilities as well, but the other thing that Gemini doesn't have that Perplexity does is access to multiple models. The thing about Perplexity is if I wanted to use a Claude model or a Gemini model, I could right inside of Perplexity. I had access to about a half dozen or so of the major models out there, and I liked that flexibility. The problem with ChatGPT, Claude Pro, or Gemini is that you have to use their models only inside of their chatbot. You can't use any of the others. And that was one of the big selling features of Perplexity for me. But unfortunately, unless they change something, I'm going to have to move, and I recommend all of you do as well. Hopefully they make some retractions on this. A lot of this does smell a little bit like a lawyer copy pasted stuff from other agreements into their terms of service. So hopefully they can take a little bit closer look and make sure that some of these things are smoothed out and clarified, at least, because if they don't, that's a deal breaker for me. I am gone. So again, I don't make videos like this too often, but I do want to make sure that we are bringing attention to issues like this. And so please reach out to Perplexity if you can. Tell them that you're not okay with this, and hopefully we can get some change done. And with that, I will see you in the next video.